Here's your forecast from the First Alert Weather Team.
All right, now that we're through the 4th of July, all eyes now on Tropical Depression 3, and it still is Tropical Depression 3 as of the 11 p.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. But we do have a new forecast track, although it really doesn't look all that new. It looks a lot like the track that we showed you at 5 p.m. The system still forecast to become a tropical storm probably sometime during the day tomorrow. Chantal will be the name of the storm as it develops. But notice it comes ashore probably sometime early on Sunday morning, likely as a tropical storm, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of Charleston seems to be the most likely scenario. And then the storm will quickly lose its tropical characteristics as it begins to approach North Carolina. In terms of our weather, two big impacts that we've really got to pay attention to over the weekend. One, the possibility of some heavy tropical downpours working their way through the area. We're going to have tropical bands of rain working through the area. We're going to have plenty of dry time. Don't make no mistake about it. For both Saturday and Sunday, we'll have periods of dry weather, so there will be opportunities to go to the beach. But therein lies the danger, and that, of course, is the rip current risk. It is going to be moderate to high for all beaches throughout the entire weekend. With a lot of people down here and a fair amount of dry time, that is a real concern that we could have a lot of water rescues. So please heed the advice from the lifeguards, and probably try to stay out of the water as much as you can over the weekend, just because the rip current risk is going to be so high because of Tropical Depression 3. All right, let's take a look at the rain scenario now with our hour-by-hour forecast model. Maybe some low clouds, patchy fog, possibly when you wake up tomorrow morning. But already tomorrow morning, you can see at least the potential for a few rain bands to begin to work their way into the area. I still think the better chance of rain, though, is going to be for the latter part of Saturday. As I said, you can see there's plenty of dry time in between these rain bands, so there's opportunity to get to the beach. Maybe a little safer to get to maybe the swimming pool. That might be a better option if you can. So between rain bands, you'll have some opportunities to get some outdoor plans in. But the rain bands become a little heavier, a little more widespread as we head into Saturday night and probably Sunday morning as well. Now, the actual storm may come ashore, as we mentioned, somewhere in the vicinity of Charleston on Sunday morning. But rain bands being on the northeast side, we're going to have rain bands continuing to work into the area off and on throughout the day on Sunday. Again, not going to rain all day, but there will be some dry periods in between these rain bands. But if you happen to be under a rain band, you can pick up a quick 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. It can cause a little bit of ponding on the roadways, maybe even a little bit of localized flooding. We don't think the severe weather threat is all that high, but again, maybe 1 or 2 strong or severe storms, and maybe even a rotating storm, not completely out of the realm of possibility. That's something else to consider, but I'm a lot more concerned about the rip current risk and the possibility of ponding and maybe some localized flooding. Rainfall forecast from our hour-by-hour model does show widespread 1 to 2 inch totals, but some isolated areas could easily walk away with as much as 3, maybe even up to 4 inches of rain before all is said and done. All right, I think the rain's over for tonight. 73 degrees the overnight low, and tomorrow look for a high of 85 degrees, kind of breezy too. East-northeast winds sustained around 15 miles per hour. And remember, if you're in Brunswick County, there's a tropical storm watch in effect. A lot of the beaches could see 30+ mile per hour gusts, especially on Sunday, maybe even up to 40 miles per hour in places like Sunset Beach and Ocean Isle Beach as well. Here's your 7-day forecast. First alert weather days, because of the threat of the rip currents, because of these tropical rain bands, mid-80s for highs Saturday and Sunday. Having said that, this is more of a dry run for maybe some future tropical systems, so take advantage of this time to start stocking your hurricane survival kit. This is your warning shot right now before something more serious happens maybe later in the hurricane season. Tuesday and Wednesday, we do turn hotter and drier.
A natural disaster